Good evening, everyone. This is Gladys from Stocks and Crypto Stallionaires. It is Sunday, July 18, 2001, and I'll be going over some charts and technical analysis. So if you like contents like this, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Stocks and Crypto Stallionaires, and make sure that you like this video. Now let's get started. I would like to get started with Netflix. So Netflix had a nice run. So we're looking here at a one-day chart, and I just drew a couple of trend lines here from the top, from January 21st down to that second top down here to a couple days ago. And then a bottom trend line here. So what is interesting about Netflix is that it had a very nice run. I would say about from here, the 478, and had this breakout at 510. And it ran all the way up to what's the high here of like 557.54 last week. And let's not forget that Netflix has earnings on Tuesday, July 20th. And as you could see here, that the price action started to come down as well in the past 2 days with this bearish engulfing candles like Thursday and Friday. This is similar to what happened to the other big techs that happened, right? The big tech sell-off. So this trend line that I drew here is, you can see right here, there was a breakdown, and that is a really big breakdown if you ask me. So I would say it might fill the gap. So if we draw a horizontal line here to find a support, so Netflix might find a support at 525, and if it breaks 525, then we are probably going to see somewhere around 509 back to its breakout point. But again, it already had a nice run, so it might have a short run in anticipation of earnings that will be going up to, say, I don't know, like even before this red line hit, but I wouldn't assume that it will reach another high. So that is my opinion for Netflix. And also, if we look at the Bollinger Band, just to add this one, as you could see here, it had reached the top of the band and it wanted to go into the middle band. And if you add an RSI, because I like doing that, and stochastic, just to measure stochastic plus RSI double strategy. Let's just stick with RSI, relative strength. As you can see on a daily, it is starting to lose its momentum. It has weakened, and there is not a lot of volume going on for Netflix. So if I will be trading this, let's look at the 15. And again, the 15, it's an obvious downtrend. It's going down the channel, and it is not going above the middle of the Bollinger. It keeps on getting rejected. And here it is actually extending down. It's going towards the negative bias of the Bollinger Band, and might have a quick run in the short term and probably get rejected at 533. As you can see, this last candle that we had last Friday, there is some buyer's action right here. That's in like the long wick at the bottom. All right, so the next one that I am going to talk about is AT&T. So AT&T had this event this weekend, I believe, and it had like Ashton Kutcher and all of those celebrities, and it also had NBA people coming down there. So they wanted to celebrate their 5G. They had a 5G party. But if we look at the stocks, overall, this is the daily chart for AT&T. I would say that it is sideways. I would say that. I don't see there'll be a trend going up for a short term and then a quick dump. But clearly, as you guys see, there is a really strong support at this level, the $28 level. I think I only traded AT&T once, but I thought it was one of the interesting ones that I will be looking at this week because of earnings. So earnings is coming up on July 21st, so that is the Wednesday. And it is making, so in the past it did make that red candle and made it possible for us to see and make this trend line right here, but it quickly dropped and made a gap. So it is finding support. It found support at the 28 level. So I would say, again, this is a quick trade because as you can see, 28 to 34, that's 4 points. And it looks like AT&T only makes a couple of cents above. So I wouldn't expect this to go sharp and be like, you know, $30 or 31 in a day. So I would probably treat this as a quick trade. And let me check the shorter time frame. Oops, I don't want that. 1 to 15. Okay, so AT&T looks like this might be the bottom for this. So I would play this if, right there. So if it goes below 28, I would probably puts my work, and 28.32 puts my work down to 28.10. So that's not a lot of movement, but for AT&T, maybe if you have a larger contract or whatever, maybe you would profit from that. But it could definitely do a quick turnaround as we see the last minute of the stock market last Friday. There are some buyers activity. Okay, so next one is Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson is a really big pharmaceutical company. They had some really bad news with their COVID-19 vaccines, that they have found some rare case of neurological disease. And on top of that, they had recall on their sunblocks powder, I believe. So they are not having a good week. But overall, let us look at Johnson & Johnson. Okay, so this is an definitely you can see a trend line right here. 1, 2, 3. So it is an upward trend line, and this is one of the COVID plays. That'll be no surprise. So it is going into waves. So you can see here, boom, boom, boom. Let me add another trend line right here. I'm not going to add those candles that went above it because you only need like 3 or 4 to hit the trend line. So this is showing that it didn't really reach the last run. It did not reach where the channel is supposed to be, like around 176. It had a lower high right here. It got rejected at 170. So this is around July 12th. So that's probably when the news hit. And quickly, as you can see, this is a clear sign that it is going in the opposite direction. So if I put on the Bollinger Band, again, it was on top of the Bollinger. It is now trying to get into the middle band where it is less volatile and where the price is expected to be. And I do like putting the RSI. I'm going to put stochastic RSI. So this is the double one. Yeah. So as you can see, it was overbought for a nice period of time from July 1st up to July 14th, so 2 weeks, and now it is starting to cool off. And this is right around earnings. So this run up, probably the catalyst was the earnings, but then the bad news then quickly made the stock turn around. So the earnings is also on Wednesday. I would say Johnson & Johnson, and if it breaks 165, puts could work. I would say that it could hit 166, 165. So did I say 165? All right, yeah. And then I would anticipate that there is a support at about 164.8. So that is for Johnson & Johnson. And next up is, I want to do Apple first. Apple. All right, so Apple had a great run. Apple was amazing. Had a wonderful run. Started June 3rd, And earnings is just right around the corner. This is the end of July, so we have another week. But basically, Apple had reached its all-time high in January of 145, right? Like around 145 area. So then it went down and trying to get up, and then here was the actual run. So this was really exciting because 145 was a major breakout point for Apple. And it was something to definitely pay attention to. So 145 was the call, 145 was the breakout. As you can see right here, it did had a hard time because it was always getting rejected because it's Apple, always getting rejected every time it's making a new leg, especially on the 145 level. It's after running for multiple days, it's just started to consolidate. However, there was so much support from the buyers that it did make a slight gap, I would say, and then right here and reach an all-time high of 150, and then so you could see traders are selling, and there is that red candle in tune with the other tech sell-off. So if you were to trade this, I would say 145 is definitely a good support. Pay attention to that. If it hits 145, then I will definitely put a call and see whether or not it will bounce right back up. If it closed below 145, say 140, 143, then that is the first Fibonacci retracement. Then that might be also a good support. But if it doesn't, then I would expect Apple to be at around 139.71. So those are the important levels, 145 and 139, 140, 145 for Apple. And let me check the Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band still looks pretty strong. It is on the positive bias. And I don't see, it's probably together with the tech sell-off. And I mean, it is still quite strong. So no problem there. We might have some couple of days to cool off. But overall trend for Apple is positive as it broke its all-time high. And my next stop is Amazon. Amazon. Amazing run. So Amazon has stuck in the 30-50 level for more than a year. So it's trying to break that level for like forever. I would say like more than 12 months, right? So it's been trying to break that level and it's getting rejected. This is the daily chart. And it had a really big, it has big moves too. So Amazon, it started to rally. It started to pick up, but it wasn't a rally. Apologize. So on June 7th, there's a move right there, but what really was the big move, but it took a while. What really was the big move was when it first hit the 35.50, it got rejected badly and went down to around 3,400. But then it rallied up and a lot of people picked it up. I see this doji candle here, two doji candles, and then one bullish candle right there that shut Amazon after the 35.50 level. That's it. It was all open for a new all-time high. And it did. It did reach a new all-time high about a 34.41. So the next target for this, if this kept going, we could have kept it going and hit 38,000, but then it got rejected. So here are my levels as I trade this. 37.11. Once that was broken, my next level was 36.26, and that is where I place my puts. And as you can see, my next major support is 36.65, right around here when I have it encircled. That is where I have a trend line going here and the recent trend line here. And as well as, I believe this is another Fibonacci retracement. So if Amazon doesn't defend 3565, we will then see at 3500. And if 3500 doesn't work out, then it is, oops, sorry about that, it is a possibility to see 3416, 3420. Now keep in mind, Amazon earnings is on July 29, same week as the Apple, the Tesla, the big tech. So just in reference, if I want to look at previous earnings, what happened to Amazon? They beat earnings, every earnings. But look at that, how sharply it drops. So in the past earnings. So you would anticipate this will be a COVID play, but for some reason it just didn't rally. And also we have the news that Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO. They now have a new CEO. So we will watch this and see what will happen with earnings. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now I want to talk about Roku. So Roku had this magnificent run too in the past month. And this daily chart. So Roku's all-time high is 484 at around February, and then we wanna. Some analysts think that it's gonna hit 500 by the end of the summer, but we shall see. So here, I would say this is one of the big moves for Roku. I just drew horizontal lines here. Just I feel that 400 is a really good support for Roku, and that is where we at right now. I don't see any negative news with Roku. I think this is just technicals, and traders are selling. It goes with the tech sell-off. So here, Roku is tricky. As you can see, it's so bullish. It's so strong. This is really hard to short. So I will be careful. Let's watch the volume. There's not much of volume here, but that is expected because this week was a little tricky and it started to come down. There's not a lot of traders in the market due to the inflation concerns, and then everything's reaching all-time highs, so people are protecting their cash. But if Roku doesn't defend 400, I would say that the next level of support is 380. But if there's a ton of buyers for Roku at 400, this could be very well try to hit or try to reach the 460 price target. So definitely keep watching Roku. Earnings is August 11. So past earnings towards Roku, amazing earnings, but they ran it up and then it went down. So every earnings, it looks like it's dropping, except for this earnings. So I would play this before earnings, but I probably would not hold my position overnight for earnings report, just because it's just too risky in my opinion. All right, and then Moderna. So Moderna is now trading higher. So as you guys remember, this is a major COVID play. I think it started at $9. Oops, what was that? At $9. I remember way back when, before COVID hits. But okay, so they had a great year, and there is a big resistance at the 190 level. Got rejected here, and then finally broke out, and followed by several bullish candles, several days of buying until it started to sell off. But then recently, it got rejected. So that was the first all-time high to close to 229. And then here, as you can see here, for a week in June, it was trying to test that, and then finally it broke, and then it formed that nice scallop, ascending scallop. What helped this, in my opinion, that this big volume, you see the jump, is that the analyst also thinks that this is a hold or this is a confirmed buy. Jeffries, I think the price target said that it is 250, but at the same time, when he released that announcement, he released that news. Moderna also announced that they will be part of the S&P 500 on July 21st. So that brought a lot of buyers in, so you can see right here. Yes, so this has extended so much, so I probably would not try to short this stock. I would probably wait. Earnings is also right around the corner on August 5th. So this will be interesting because of their technology, right? So their technology is not only the technology was actually created not for the COVID vaccine. It was actually created for cancer therapy. So now that they have the successful COVID-19 vaccine, they can very well use this technology for other implications, such as cancer. And that is revolutionary, in my opinion. Okay, so Moderna, I would be cautious with this. If you guys have calls, that's great. And if you guys probably would wait for puts, I'm looking at the 15-minute chart. After its big run up, the whole day on Friday, it just kind of like trade sideways, but it defended 280. So 280 was a good breakout point, whether or not it's going to go down or it's going to go up. But then towards the end of the day, as you can see, there's a really bullish candle followed by several doji candle, but then followed by again another bullish candle. So that is a nice run up. If I were to draw a fib on a 15, which is okay, probably okay, I don't want that there. I could probably do from here to here. So yeah, it didn't even touch the support at 273, 276. So I think it's pretty bullish, but I'll be careful. And last but not least is Nvidia. Nvidia. This is a wonderful chart. Okay, so Nvidia. Okay, so Nvidia has been trading around this channel, like, the 500. Let me draw a horizontal line. So the 586. So around there is trying to break it, like at the 5. So it wants to reach 600. All right, so about the 600. So it's been trying to break the 600, trying a little bit of a breakout, but then got absolutely rejected after earnings. So that was a run up at the earnings. And then interestingly, the past earnings on May, the week before that, they announced that they're going to have a stock split of 4-1, right? So if you're watching the chart, you already know that it broke the 600s, but then you draw this trend line, and then, this must be coming from that one. Okay, so I have this breakout point at 650. Okay, sorry about that. Right here, because that was the last all-time high in my opinion, in my chart. And then that was a nice breakout. And then if you draw a line here and here, you see this clear breakout. So this tells me that this is bullish and that the news is driving it up. So here was a nice run up from, I would say, May all the way here up to last week. So of 833. But then July 21st is the stock split. So a week before that, you start seeing Nvidia sell off. You can see right here, it tries to defend 822, but it got rejected. And then there goes the candles. So here, this is a really important support. So you can see this is the channel that I have from here, here, here. So if this breaks the 726, this could definitely see a lower number. Let me go get my fibs. Oh, yeah, so that is the second fib. So that is a really important support. And then if that breaks, then we could very well see a 691. So first 700 first and then the 691. But then if there is a little bit of a run up before the stock split, it could go a little bit up to for 767. Okay, great. So that is all I have. I have shown you 8 charts. So if you guys like this content, please subscribe and like this video and join our Discord. Click our link. There's our website and how to join. And that's it for today. And I will see you later. Thank you and have a good night.